The world whispers lies. It tells men to strive, to conquer, to rise, but most never do. They stumble quietly, trapped in shadows they cannot name, consumed by a weakness they refuse to see. I watch them, patiently, silently. I see the hesitation in their steps, the tremor in their decisions, the surrender hidden behind polite smiles and excuses. Weakness is not a simple absence of strength. No, it is far more insidious. It is a subtle seduction, a velvet noose, a poison that drips slowly into the mind until ambition dies quietly at the edges of their lives. And yet they are blind to it. They believe they are free. They believe they are strong. How deliciously naive. How tragically predictable. Look closely at them. Notice the habits, the little betrayals that accumulate. The moment they choose comfort over challenge. The time they whisper to themselves, "I'll do it tomorrow," while the world turns without pause. The silence of inaction is louder than any scream. I am not here to pity them. I am here to observe. I am here to reveal the mechanics of their undoing. Weakness is not dramatic, it is mundane. It is found in routines, in choices made beneath the radar of consciousness. It is choosing the warmth of a bed over the fire of creation, the soft approval of others over the sharp honesty of reality. And yet, these men think themselves awake. They are sleepwalking, blind to the chains that bind them. Do you know why most men fail without ever realizing it? It is because they are busy fighting battles that do not matter. They measure strength with appearances, with fleeting victories, with shallow accolades. They ignore the subtle war raging within themselves, the war against fear, hesitation, and self-doubt. Every decision avoided is a victory surrendered. Every moment of courage unclaimed is a victory given to inertia. And inertia is my most faithful servant. It whispers sweet lies, coaxing the soul to stagnation, convincing the mind that safety is wisdom, that restraint is discipline, that passivity is virtue. How I love watching it. How I savor their oblivion. Consider the moment a man encounters resistance. A challenge. Something sharp, unexpected, terrifying. What does he do? Most retreat. Most rationalize. Most convince themselves that avoidance is strategy, that comfort is self-preservation. But I know the truth. The soul does not grow in safety. The mind does not expand in ease. Strength is forged in friction, in fire, in the relentless pressure of existence, pressing against the spirit until it either bends or breaks. Few understand this, fewer embrace it, and so they crumble, quietly, invisibly, beneath the weight of their own hesitation. Do you hear it? That whisper in your own mind, soft and insistent, "I cannot, not today, someone else will." It is the chorus of the weak, the hymn of surrender, and it delights me. Every excuse is a stroke of my brush on the canvas of their demise. Every delay is a brushstroke painting failure with subtle elegance. They imagine themselves autonomous, yet they are puppets dancing on invisible strings of fear and indulgence. Yet I offer no judgment, only observation. The laws of weakness are simple, but few wish to acknowledge them. They are cunning. They hide in comfort. They wear the mask of reason. They masquerade as kindness. They whisper, "I am taking care of myself," when in truth they are taking care of nothing but their illusions. And what of fear? Ah, fear is exquisite. It is the silent architect of failure. It builds walls invisible to the naked eye, invisible even to the men it imprisons. They do not flee from danger alone. They flee from possibility, from greatness, from the raw challenge of becoming. Fear convinces them that restraint is prudence, that hesitation is wisdom, that avoidance is self-preservation. But I know the truth. Fear is nothing but a mirror. It reflects what is possible. It shows the path to power and tempts them to turn away. Those who listen to its gentle lies will never discover the heights of which they are capable. Observe the patterns, the avoidance, the distractions, the need for approval, the obsession with comfort, the fear of solitude. These are the silent killers, the unnoticed poison, the everyday betrayals. And they are everywhere. In the office, in relationships, in friendships, in the small choices that seem inconsequential but accumulate into a life of quiet ruin. They think themselves clever, adaptive, aware. I see them for what they are, fragile creatures masquerading as warriors, lost in the illusion of their own strength. And yet, even now, some stir. Some feel the gnawing emptiness, the prickling awareness that life is slipping through their fingers. It is at this moment, fleeting and delicate, that I watch with curiosity. Will they confront themselves, or will they retreat again into the comfortable darkness? The irony is exquisite. They call themselves ambitious. They speak of dreams, of goals, of potential. Yet ambition without courage is a hollow echo. Dreams without action are little more than illusions whispered into the void. And what is action, if not the deliberate confrontation with discomfort, the embrace of difficulty, the willingness to endure pain, to challenge limitation, to stare at the self with unflinching eyes? Few dare, fewer persist. Most fail quietly, unknowingly, under the weight of invisible burdens, under the weight of their own weaknesses, under the weight of me. Do you understand? Weakness is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It does not crash through doors. It creeps, invisible, insidious, persistent. It is the choice to stop short, to avoid, to rationalize. It is the surrender to fear, the indulgence of comfort, the craving for approval. It is the quiet voice that says, I am enough, when in truth, nothing is enough until it is tested, until it bleeds, until it burns. I watch as men cling to illusions, as they build lives on sand while thinking it is stone. And every collapse delights me, not because I hate them, but because the truth is unavoidable, inevitable, irresistible. But not all are lost. There are those few who awaken, who hear the whisper of truth beneath the comforting lies, who feel the tug of their own inadequacy and, instead of turning away, step forward, who embrace the discomfort, the pain, the friction, the fear. These are the ones who taste power, who drink from the cup of mastery, who carve a life from the raw rock of reality itself. They are rare. They are dangerous. They are unforgettable. And I, ever patient, observe them with respect, with intrigue, with anticipation, waiting for the moment when they will face the final test, themselves. Consider the choices you make each day, the tiny hesitations, the small comforts, the unnoticed distractions. Each one adds weight to the chains of weakness. Each one feeds the pattern that keeps men ordinary, invisible, unfulfilled. And you, if you are listening, are at a crossroads. Will you surrender to the familiar lullabies of safety, ease, and indulgence? Or will you embrace the fire, step into the storm, and confront the raw truth of your own mind, your own body, your own spirit? Few choose the latter. Fewer endure it. And yet it is the only path. Do you feel it? That whisper in your chest, the subtle tremor of awareness that life is slipping, that time is merciless, that every moment of avoidance is a moment surrendered? That is the voice of truth. That is the echo of potential. That is the faintest brush of the fire you must walk into if you wish to rise. Weakness is seductive, comforting, convincing. It says, rest, delay, avoid, indulge, do not strain. I say, do not listen. Step forward. Step into the friction. Step into the night that terrifies you. The world is indifferent, and so am I, but your spirit is yours to forge, if you dare. And when you stumble, as you surely will, remember this: failure is not shameful. Failure is honest. Failure shows you what you are, not what you pretend to be. Weakness hides behind excuses. Weakness conceals itself in comfort. Weakness tells you that inaction is wisdom, that hesitation is prudence, that avoidance is safety. But the awakened know better. They embrace the pain. They welcome the friction. They confront the fear. They test the limits. And through this crucible, they become something that few will ever recognize, something that will endure, something that will echo long after the world forgets them. Do you see now? The psychology of weakness is not a secret. It is not a mystery. It is the simple, brutal reality of life. Men fail because they surrender quietly, because they indulge themselves, because they avoid the friction that breeds strength. They fail because they never look inward, never test themselves, never embrace the fire that waits in the shadowed corners of their minds. They fail without knowing it because they never choose to see. And yet, even now, some stir, some awaken. Some walk into the darkness and feel its bite and say, "I will endure. I will rise. I will become." So hear me clearly, you who listen. The chains are invisible. The trap is subtle. The poison is slow. Comfort, fear, distraction, approval, they all conspire to kill potential quietly, imperceptibly. And I watch, patient, indulgent, amused, but you may choose differently. You may embrace the friction, the discomfort, the challenge. You may test yourself relentlessly. You may stare into the abyss of your own weakness and refuse to look away. And in that refusal, in that confrontation, in that deliberate choice, you will find what most never do: strength, clarity, and the unshakable power of a man who has seen himself honestly and refused to surrender. The world will continue to whisper lies. It will tempt you with comfort. It will convince you that hesitation is wisdom. It will applaud the illusion of courage while the soul quietly atrophies. And I, ever watching, will continue to observe, to savor, to know who is asleep and who is awake. But for those who dare, who truly dare, weakness can be shattered. Fear can be conquered. Comfort can be abandoned. The fire of the self can be claimed. And in that fire a man is forged, unbreakable, unforgettable, alive in a way most will never comprehend. Step forward, if you will. Step into the friction. Step into the challenge. Step into yourself. And know this: the psychology of weakness is simple. Men fail because they surrender. They fail because they indulge. They fail because they do not see. But you may choose to see. You may choose to endure. You may choose to rise. And when you do, the world and even I will watch in awe as a man becomes something he was always meant to be. Something dangerous, something alive, something remembered,